My husband teaches us how to do that.
Gotta laugh down,
Just
anything.
sometimes a little humor
Get your
can
story
get you
out.
through.
Hi, everybody. Okay. Things I never saw coming. There was the day one of my closest friends asked me how soon after I got the COVID vaccine was my cancer diagnosed. Are you kidding? You're saying that the vaccine caused my cancer? But maybe you're onto something. I mean, could it be the Marmite I had on my toast for breakfast this morning that gave me cancer? Marmite is this spreadable yeast paste that people from Britain and the Commonwealth find yummy. But for an American, you guys are like one taste and, ugh, no shit, this stuff gives you cancer. So my left eye, along with the whole left side of my face, stopped working. It just sagged down all day long. There was no blinking, nothing. That was another thing I did not see coming. Eyes work best when they're wet, and when there's no tear duct trickle down happening, these things just become like dried up, dusty old lake beds. It became a full-time job for my lovely husband, Jake, over there, to bathe it, lube it up, tape it closed, and then put on one of those medical pirate eye patch dressing things. It was a bad case of facial nerve palsy caused by a plasmacytoma, aka a tumor, 3/4 of the size of a fist, located in my infratemporal fossa. Fossas are these little face caves. They're located behind your cheekbones and your eyeballs. So my doctor assures me most of these tumors are benign. Mine wasn't. Cancer. Oh, yes. And yes, chemo, radiation, even a ghastly life-risking stem cell transplant. But let me tell you what I went through with this fucking eye. So an ophthalmologist at the Jill Stein Eye Institute tells me the best way to give you relief with that eye is if we sew it shut. What? So my eyes shut? Yes, it's what people with nerve palsy do when their eyes don't blink or close. I want relief, and you're a doctor, but sewing my eye shut even temporarily? I mean, of course, I've seen people with their eyes sewn shut, but they were dead. Corpses in movies. The cross-stitched eyelid was just to make them scarier. No, thank you, we said. I just didn't know that this was something that could happen to a person in her everyday life when her eyeball just needed a little protecting from the big, bad world. Jake and I laugh about this so-called solution. No, this is never going to happen here. Cut to weeks later, and there is no improvement. And every day is like a battle to keep my eye, which is like this gapey open laundry bag with no drawstring, closed. I'm over it. Please, sew it shut. Yeah, I'm still surprised that I asked them to do that. So 5 minutes later, I'm in the operating chair, and the medical team, they're creating a surgical field around my eye with these big paper sheets, and then they're washing my lid with iodine. Then they're coming at me with these two enormous syringes full of lidocaine to shoot into my lids. With only one eyeball showing, I don't think anyone can tell. I'm having some serious misgivings. The doctor team are busy grooving around to the cool musical choice that I've made for my eyeball internment surgery. Black Pumas. Jake's getting in position, ready to video it. And then, it's happening. Because my eye can't shut, it's watching the whole thing. So it can see the looping needle and thread go around and around and around. I'm like that character in The Clockwork Orange whose eyeball is forcibly peeled open so as not to miss 1 second of his anti-sadistic violence brainwashing. What is this insistent stitching trying to brainwash me against? Future Etsy embroidery projects? Finally, the stitching stops, but I can still see you guys, I tell them. That's when the doctor takes hold of the thread on either side of my eye, and she cinches it by pulling tight, and voila, I'm a one-eyed woman. Happily so, I skip giddy, euphoric even, back to the car. There's no pain, there's no pulling. Jake, this feels amazing, darling. We should have done it weeks ago. Amazing until the lidocaine honeymoon is over. And then everything comes back into focus. Stitches in the eyelid feel fucking horrible. If you're sitting there squirming and thinking, yeah, it sounds medieval, it is medieval. Like bloodletting, leeches, or mammograms. So having it stitched shut means that there's not so much, daily eye maintenance, and that's a huge relief, but it is uncomfortable all the time. And then, no bullshit, I get conjunctivitis. No way I could have seen that coming either, because it's in the sewn shut eye. So now Jake has to pry the lids open between the stitches to shoot in the eye drops twice a day. What if I survive cancer and COVID and die from pink eye? Okay, so a month later, when the stitches come out and the doctor tells me to close it, my eye can almost close all the way. It's not a complete closure situation, and there is no blinking happening, but good enough, he says. We don't have to stitch it back up. Hallelujah. Then comes the real nail-biter waiting game. Will my eye ever blink again? 5 months later, my eye starts doing some wobbly blinking, and I cry tears of happiness. Oh, and it's really good to have left eye back in the crying game because with palsy, no tear duct action. Now, the funny thing about my gapey open saggy eye is it's now squinty eye. So somehow the nerves between my eye and my mouth are attached. So when I rub my lips together, it looks like I'm winking at you. I'm not. This is just my new party trick. Yeah, I didn't see that one coming either. So there are no guarantees that these guys are going to detach from each other. But you know what? It blinks, it closes, it works well enough. My multiple myeloma white blood cell cancer is in remission. So, thank you. So life looks good to me out of both my eyeballs.